Hello everyone, this is Kendall Johnson and thanks for stopping by this next training video. Now today I'm going to make a short video to show you one of the first steps about working online, working from home, and starting to make money in the long term. This is a part of the success plan that will allow you to maintain your position of earning a consistent income week after week, month after month, year after year. So what I want to show you how to do here is how to create a website address name. Now, most people have been online before and you've visited a lot of different popular websites such as YouTube, Google, Facebook, Yahoo, and many other websites. So you already know your favorite website addresses by heart for the most part, and whenever you want to go visit those websites, you can just go onto the computer, type in the website address, and you'll be there on the website. So basically what you want to do now is you want to create your own space on the internet. You want to have your own website. You want to have your own website address, so that eventually, in the long term, people will get to type in your website address. They'll be able to go to your website and be able to find your products, your services, or whatever it is that you're offering people out there into the internet. So the first thing that you'll do here is I'm going to show you exactly what I do. Now there's a lot of different ways that you can go about getting a website address, which is also called a domain name, but I'm going to show you the place that I've been using since I first started doing this, working from home in 2008. So the name of the website is called GoDaddy.com. So what you could do is go to Google and you can type in GoDaddy, G-O-D-A-D-D-Y, and click enter and just wait for the results to come back. And you're going to see a lot of listings on the first page. What you want to click on is one of the regular listings. You do not want to click on this yellow listing up here because the company actually pays for this to be in this location. There's no need for you to click here. The company will actually be charged for that. But just go right here to this regular white background listing where it says GoDaddy.com and just click that to go to their website. And then once the website loads, you should get a page that looks similar to this right here. And we'll just wait for it to finish loading. Now keep in mind, I'm running a software on the computer at the time of making this demonstration video, so some of the things that I'm going to be doing might take a little bit longer than it would take you to show up on your screen. So now that the website is completely loaded, the first thing I want to do here is explain a little bit about what the purpose of a domain name is and how I've used domain names in the past to make money from home. So let's say you're starting today, and let's say that you decided that you want to be a member of a company that has an opportunity for others to earn income from home. So essentially, let's say you're going to be promoting a business opportunity or a work from home opportunity, something like that. Now, there's a couple of different suggestions that I have with how you can go about creating and coming up with the concept for a domain name or a website address. But like I said, in this case, what I'll do is I'll just tell you exactly. I'm going to walk you through actually a purchase of a real domain name that I'm buying today, and today is Sunday, September 16th, 2012. I'm actually in the process of purchasing a domain name right now for one of the new companies that I'm going to be working with from home. So I'm actually going to show you how I went through the process of creating and coming up with that domain name, and then I'm going to walk you through the process of actually purchasing that domain name. And then in a future video, I'll show you exactly, of course, step-by-steps and what you would actually do once you have that website domain name in your possession, once you actually own it and register it. So this is how it generally starts. You come here and it says right here in front of you, you see it says your new website starts with a domain. So if you're promoting a work from home opportunity, there's two different ways you might want to do that as far as creating a website address or domain name that will be considered relevant to the topic of what your website is going to be about. So I'll give you an example here, and the reason why you have this boxed here is for two different reasons. First of all, this is how you start to register a domain name. Secondly, this will allow GoDaddy to search their database to find out if somebody else is already using a domain name that you just had an idea that you thought of, that maybe you would want to purchase for yourself. So if you're working for a company that has a work from home opportunity, let's say you want to decide to come up with a name that actually tells people who are going to go to that website exactly what it's all about. So you might want to come up with a name such as How to Work from Home. How to Work from Home. Okay, just using this as an example, and then we'll get to my own personal website. So how to work from home. And as you can see here, there's a .com, and if you click on the little arrow, it opens up a menu which shows you all of the different endings that you can get aside from .com. So that can be .co, .info, .net, .org, .me, .mobi, .us, .biz. You have all of these different options here. There's a lot more, but what I will say is that .com, as all of you probably know, is the most popular and the most recognized ending of a website address. So my recommendation is that you get a .com to begin with, and also I'm going to show you later that you should also get a .info. And the reason is you can basically get a second website address with the .info for almost the same price. For free, that is. They're gonna, in many cases, the .info is free and you don't have to pay anything additional to get it. So basically, if you have a name like howtoworkfromhome.com and howtoworkfromhome.info and howtoworkfromhome.net, that is actually 3 separate domain names. Okay, so let's say you had 3 completely different websites that you wanted to have, but you wanted them all to be related to how to work from home. You can own howtoworkfromhome.com, and that can bring people to one particular page and display a website. The .info can bring people to a completely different page or information, and the .net can bring people to another completely different page with information. So we'll get more into that as we go on later on down the road. But basically, if you purchase a .com and a .info, you would have 2 separate domain names that you can use for 2 completely different purposes in relation to how to work from home. So I'm going to click here on Go, and we're going to see, I want you to see, for example, what happens when you try to see if a name is available that you're interested in purchasing. So the computer searches database, and somebody already owns howtoworkfromhome.com, and that's the message that it's giving you here. It's saying howtoworkfromhome.com is already taken. So what you do here is you can scroll down a little bit on the screen, and it's going to give you some variations that you can consider, that you might want to consider. So basically, let's look at the list here of the additional variations that we can consider if we're looking for something very close to howtoworkfromhome.com, since it's already taken and we can't get that name. So you just look here, you see this list. They have knowledge, job from house, skill, job from house. So basically, the computer is designed to use synonyms to try to create variations of your name so that it can come to something close. So a lot of them that you see here in the English language basically are not going to make much sense, but you still have to look through this list here because there actually might be something good. So is there anything good here? Let's take a look. Well, one of the suggestions and variations they have here is the howtoworkfromhome.com. Okay, now that's not going to work, but look at the next one, howtoworkfromhome site. Now, SITE, site, is basically an abbreviation for website. So this one you can consider, howtoworkfromhomesite.com. Okay. Now, like I said, this is only an example. I personally wouldn't use this website address name, but in order for you to get an idea of something that I would use, let me take you over to another screen where I actually already came up with the website address for a company that I'm starting to work with this week. So I'm going to close this window, and I'm going to take you over to that page. Now, I already have these names in my shopping cart. I already purchased them. So let me show you what it looks like. I believe this should work. So let me show you what this looks like when you put in a name that is available. Okay. Low cost 4G wireless.com. So let's see what happens. Hopefully it will show me that it's available. And it should load up here any second. Like I said, taking a little long because of the software I'm using to make this video. But there you have it. So this is an example of what the screen would look like once you type in a website address or a domain name idea that you have that you're interested in seeing if somebody else is using, or if you have the ability to go ahead and purchase that name for your own self and for your own working at home arrangement. Okay, so as you can see here, a domain name that I thought of earlier today, www.lowcost4gwireless.com, is available, and you're going to see it in green with a check mark on the left side, and basically it also tells you the price here is $12.99 with an asterisk, And also this right here, as you can see below here, it says .info add. If I click this orange add button, it's going to add this to my shopping cart, and it says right here free with .com or .co. So if I purchase the low-cost 4G wireless.com and I add right here the .info, it's going to give me the .info for free. So I'm basically going to get 2 domain names for the price of one: low-cost 4G wireless.com as well as low-cost 4G wireless.info. So that's exactly how easy it is once you actually create or come up with the name of something that you think is good. And I know a lot of you who are already at this point now have seen a variety of websites with a variety of different names, so you pretty much get the idea of how people in the industry come up with a creative concept or a name for their website address. So once that's done, and once you're finished picking the different website addresses that you're going to purchase, in the beginning, I would suggest you just need, the 1 or 2 .com, .info with one name that you come up with. So all you have to do is click and continue to registration on the right side of the screen here. And now you're set to go ahead and make the payment and purchase. Now, one of the reasons, of course, why I wanted to make this video is so that I can walk you through this process. Now, some people are going to watch this video before they actually go and get started and decide to start working from home. So I want you to see what the process is, how simple it is, and then for others who are already signed up and are just going through the beginning process of setting everything up, I want to walk you through this, because instead of me having to do this over the phone, I prefer you to watch a video and actually see step by step what everything will look like when you get here on this website yourself. Okay. Now also keep in mind, this information you're going to be able to pass on to other people that you know who are going to need to do this as well. So right here, basically what happens is when you make a purchase on GoDaddy.com or when you're shopping, they're going to try to offer you a tremendous amount of additional features and options that basically you're not going to need for the most part. So I just want to tell you here basically what you need, what you don't. This way you can get in and out and through this process as quickly as possible, and spending as little as necessary, or not spending any more money than what's absolutely necessary to do this. So they're asking you here if you want to buy .net, .org, .info. They're basically offering you a bundle of several different endings: .net, .org, .us, .mobi. So basically my recommendation when you get to this point here is just to click on the button right here that says no thanks and just skip this to the next screen. Okay, and you're going to have to do this at times before you're all done. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, so now here we are on the second screen. It's about to load. So here we are at step 2. Step 1 is complete. Now on step 2, you want to pay close attention here. And I'm going to show you something interesting and show you this is the way that a lot of companies make money. A lot of companies make money by asking you to buy something more than what it is that you actually need. So GoDaddy, of course, I'm not sure who's behind the design of this website, but for some reason, their default settings for purchasing a domain name, as you can see here, the registration length is 5 years. Now, realistically, who needs to purchase a domain name 5 years ahead of time? Okay, but they set that as a default so that they can potentially make a lot more money off of every customer they have that comes to their website that pretty much is just getting their start, doesn't really know any better, doesn't recognize that they have options. But when you click here on this drop down menu, you can change that 5 years to 1 year. And that's what I recommend, okay? Because obviously you're going to pay a lot more money if you pay for 5 years up front today than just 1 year. So we're going to try to keep these costs as low as possible. And when you're done there, you're going to click next. And then that will take you to step 3. Now step 3, I'm going to explain a little bit here because some people may actually be interested in this particular feature, so I will tell you what it is because in some instances I have used this in the past. Now this here allows you to keep your information private, and it's basically called private registration. So as you can see, they have 3 different plans here. They have one that's for free, but the privacy with the business registration, basically this is, as you can see, $11.99 for the year. And what that means is when you register a website address or a domain name, your information is actually going to be made public. So if a person wanted to go find out who was the owner of howtoworkfromhome.com, if that's your website address, a person can go on the internet, do the research, and pull up the information, which will give your first name, last name, and your home address. It's publicly made information. So if you wanted to keep that information from being made public, okay, depending on how you are with your privacy and those sort of things, this is the option where you can opt for the privacy with business registration and pay an additional $11.99 per year which they're going to charge you your first year right now up front, which was basically going to be $12. So what that will do is if a person tries to look up the owner of a website by the website address, and you have this protection on your plan here with GoDaddy, the person will not be able to find your first name, last name, or your home address because you requested to be put on the privacy listing. Okay, which means your public information or your information will not be made public. It's only going to be between you, authorities, and GoDaddy. So if you want that, this is where you would select that. I personally don't use this because for the most part I have several different websites and I don't really need the additional expense here because I find it rather unnecessary. I have nothing to worry about, nothing to hide. So click on next, and this will take us from step 3 to step 4, which is basically the last step, getting into the process of making our payment. And this is okay, this is going to ask you if you want to activate your domain with hosting. And what I recommend here is that you skip over this part as well. Now hosting, as you probably are going to read if you have not read already on the website, sharingmysecrets.com, website hosting is basically, okay, once you have a name for a website, now it's time to create a design, create some content, put some information, put your items for sale, those sort of things. When you want to create a website that actually has a theme, graphics, and all those sort of things, this is what the hosting is all about. You need website hosting in order for it to hold and store your information and make it available when people come to your website so that they can see what it is that you're presenting to the internet. Hosting is what allows you to fill a website with content. So they ask you here if you want to pay $5.60 a month or $8.50 a month and so forth. All their different plans here for hosting are an additional optional feature. And at this point, I would basically say you don't need this. You can skip this part. When we get into a video that actually talks about hosting, I'm going to show you another company that's actually a much better deal and has a lot more features for the same price. Okay, so we're going to skip this here, this whole part. It also asks you if you want to add an email address. To tell you the truth, you don't need that either, so I would just skip over that, and we'll go right here to next, and we'll move on to the payment process, and we'll start to complete this transaction. Now, one of the things that I failed to mention here real quickly, which I'll show you when the next screen pops up, is what is the reason why I actually am here today purchasing this name. Okay, why am I here purchasing lowcost4gwireless.com? Well, the reason is quite simple. Recently, I was introduced to a company that offers 4G wireless, unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited data for $49 per month. And they have a program where I can actually make money working from home by telling other people about their 4G wireless $49 plan. Okay, so it's actually a prepaid plan. It's not on the contract, and I know that right now the prepaid plans are pretty much getting a lot of attention because a lot of people are tired of being stuck in a 2-year contract with their service provider, especially since the rate that they're paying per month in many cases is over $100. So I decided to become a part of this opportunity because I know 4G is basically the new thing in wireless right now. It's the new format that people are going on, stepping up from the 3G, which was most recently the new thing at the time. So I decided to get involved with them, and the company is giving me a website that allows me to promote and refer people to their products and services, their 4G wireless plan, $49. They're giving me a website. So what I decided to do is I wanted to go here to GoDaddy and create a website address, something that is unique to me, so that when I tell people about it and they ask me, listen, Kendall, where can I go for more information about that thing you were telling me about the other day, where you're getting that wireless 4G service for $49 a month for unlimited? All I have to do is tell the person, okay, either you want me to send you an email, a text message, or I can just tell you over the phone and you can write it down or go right to the website. I want to make things easier for myself, so I came up with the name www.lowcost4gwireless.com. Now, why did I choose that over something else? Well, that's just, my creative mind said to I said to myself, okay, I want to come up with something that not only is catchy, but something that makes sense and basically tells a person beforehand what my website is going to be about and what type of information they can expect to find there when they go. So when a person is in the process of figuring out how urgent it is for them to visit a website, or if they are in fact going to go to a website because you're going to spend your time on my website clearly says by its website address and name that my website is going to be about low cost 4G wireless. That's it. So basically, the theme of my website, I put it into my website address, and that's basically how I recommend you look at things when it comes to creating website addresses and domain names for the companies that you work for. Okay, so now that I've got that out the way, just one other thing I want to show you. Now, the great thing I like about using GoDaddy is that GoDaddy, there are coupons available on the internet that allow you to save money instantly anytime that you go to buy a new website address or domain name from GoDaddy. So I want to show you here how to do this yourself. Now, normally in the past, I've been doing this for every single person that I start getting set up working from home. But in this case, I want to show you now here in this video how to do this yourself, how to go find the coupon online. Now, you can just type in GoDaddy coupons on Google and search that. But from what I have experienced in the past, there's one particular website that I enjoy the most, because usually when I go there, they have the deepest discounts on the coupons that they offer on a daily basis. So what you do is go to GoDaddy, go to Google and type in Retail Me Not GoDaddy and search. And what you're going to get here is the first result here is www.retailmenot.com/GoDaddy.com. So what you do is you go to this website, and basically this website is updated, I believe, on a daily basis. Whenever there are updates for new coupons, they're added to this website. So a lot of people, I'm sure, frequent this website throughout the year. When the time comes for them to actually purchase a domain name, they come here to grab themselves a coupon, because you can save as much as 62%. As you can see right here, this very first listing, I actually had somebody who signed up with me last week who was getting started, and when I gave her this coupon, she got everything for $5 total out the door, all finished and everything, because I gave her this 62% off coupon. So you come here and you basically look at all the different coupons that are going to be available the day that you're here on this website. Now, I will tell you that the 62% off coupon is not common. This is like the first time I've seen this in my 4 years. But they do have some other discounts that are more typical for pretty much, every week or every month you're going to find these, such as this one right here, 35% off .com domains and free instant page website. So what you do when you get this here is you can just click on this. You click on that here and it will open up in a new window. Two different things will open up. Number one, it's going to open up the GoDaddy website, which will take you there directly to go ahead and purchase the domain name. Or it's also going to open up this small window which is loading right here, and when it finally finishes, you'll see here they're going to give you the code. So what you do is you take your mouse, you copy that code, right click, you right click, copy that code, and once you have that code, you can close this window, and I'm going to close this window here, and you're going to go back to GoDaddy. I'm going back to my payment page, my checkout page, to show you exactly how I did this and where this coupon code goes. And as you can see, this is basically a review of my order on the screen here. Okay, it says here, review your shopping cart. So as you can see, let's just look at what I have in my shopping cart first. So I have my product, lowcost4gwireless.com. And the second one here is lowcost4gwireless.info. They are for 1 year each. All right, and they're also asking me here if I want to buy anything additional, which is pretty much common. They're always asking you if you want to buy something additional, but pretty much this is what I'm here for. And okay, so let's look at the shopping cart order summary to the right. So my cart subtotal, it says here, is $27.34. However, there are some discounts that have been applied, such as the promotion, which gives you the free .info domain name with the purchase of a .com. So it says here, well, okay, right under that is where it says enter promo or source code. So you click on that and you paste the coupon code right here in this box, and then you click on apply. Okay, now I'm not going to click on apply because I've already done this earlier, because I actually, when I was in the process of this, I said, you know what, this is a great time for me to make a new video to show people how to do this. So I've already applied this coupon code, this exact code, to this transaction, and you can see here my total savings is $18.99. Also, in percentage-wise, I saved 69% on this order of the regular price. And my order total is $8.35. Now, that's pretty good, all right? So once you got that and you see the correct amount is there and all your discounts have been applied and recalculated, you click to continue to checkout. and then it's going to bring you to this screen right here. Now, for those of you who do not have a credit card, if for some reason you do not have a credit card or a debit card, I will say that if you are really having tough times and you need to come here to purchase a domain name, I don't believe there is a way for you to pay with cash, but they do accept PayPal, they do accept gift cards, they do accept checks, and in this instance I'm going to be using a credit card, okay, or a debit card. So when you get to this page here, it might look a little bit different, but generally speaking, this is what happens next. This is a secure website, so at this point now you'll just input your information. Now when you guys watch this, you're not going to be able to actually see my information because I'm going to blur it out for privacy reasons. But you just fill in the information, make sure everything is correct, put in your full address, and then you put in your city. Now I'm from New York. For those of you who don't know, put in your zip code, and then put in your email address and your phone number. So basically, all of these boxes that have a red asterisk next to them are boxes that you have to make sure are checked and have the correct information, okay? Now, the next thing that you want to do here is you're going to have to enter your credit card information. So I'm going to go to this box right here, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to update my credit card information because I actually changed credit cards recently. And the first thing it's going to ask you for is the credit card number. Okay, so I'm going to just input mine. And just double check that to make sure that's correct. And the name of the credit card holder, which I'm guessing might be you in this case. So you just put your first and last name here, all in that same box. The next one, select what type of card. The next box, select the year, the expiration date, and to the right, well, the first box is the month and the second box is the year, okay? And then here on the back of your credit card or your debit card, there should be a 3-digit verification code. You just enter that in this box here, and they ask you if you want to use this information for express checkout. That's up to you. And if you want to make this, yeah, so that's it. Pretty much just read through the basic stuff here. Now, once you've done that, you're going to see on the right side of the screen here, I have my confirmation of my order summary. This way I know exactly how much I'm about to be charged. It's $8.35 for the .com and the .info. And make sure that you come right here on the final step, part 4, and check this box here where it says I have read and agreed to the terms of conditions. Okay, because if you do not do this, then your order will give you an error message, and when you get back to this page and wonder what you did wrong, most likely if you forgot to check this box, that's the reason why it's getting kicked back. And once that's done, you click the box here where it says place order now,